Okay, welcome. Today we are going to make a fidget spinner with the star being the center. So here is our work plane. First thing you want to make sure of is that you're working in inches. So come down to the settings, down in this corner, click on that, and you want to change your units to inches. And I would suggest making it your default. It's easier to translate dimensions through standard measurement than the metric. So do that, and we are ready to start. We are going to give it a name. So let's give it Fidget Spinner, and I'll put number 2. You can put whatever you want, but I always like naming my files so I have an idea of what I've created. So first part we're going to pull out this star, and we are going to change the dimensions. You remember the handles here. We're going to click on this handle here. We're going to change both these dimensions to 2. We are going to change the z-axis from 1/2 of an inch to 0.3. And there is our center of our fidget spinner. We need to put a hole in for the bearing. You can get 0.87 bearings on Amazon, pretty cheap. The size of the bearing is 0.87. 0.87. And we are going to lower this z-axis down to about 1/2 inch. Sometimes when you try to put it on, it creates a shadow, and so hopefully by lowering it, the shadow is reduced. So I'm going to use my arrow keys on my keyboard to bring my hole about to the center. I'm going to go to my top view. We could use our line tools, but it is not lining up so it's in the center. It looks pretty close. I can zoom in, and I'm looking at the distance between right here, and it looks pretty close. So I'm going to group that together. The way you do that, you click on you click below the parts, you hold and you drag a box over it, and you come up here to where it says group, and then you have your star. Okay, we are going to bring out the wings. I'm calling them wings. We can leave it at 1 inch on the X and Y, but we do need to lower it down to 0.25. And of course, we are going to make ours fancy in our class, so we are going to add a circle in a hole in the center so we can add marbles to our fidget spinners. And our marbles have been measuring out at various sizes. So I'm going to make it 0.62, 0.62, and that's my lovely wife calling me for dinner. She has no idea what I'm doing in here. So I'm going to make it 0.62, 0.62, and then 1/2 inch, and then I'm going to bring it over to the cylinder, and at this point we are going to put them together and use our line tool, center and center, and then group. Then we are going to put a little break in it. We're going to make a little gap into the wing. So we're going to pull out a cube hole, and we are going to make that 0.1. And at that point in time, I'm going to bring it over with my arrows on my keyboard. There's a reason I do that, is because sometimes when you move with your mouse, you're going to wind up changing some dimensions, and that's not going to work. So I'm going to click and drag over those 2 pieces. I'm going to align only on the Y-axis. We do not want it to go all the way through the x-axis. I'm sorry, all the way through the cylinder. We just want a little gap. Okay, I'm going to group those together, and now we have our wing. And the fortunate thing about this, we only have to do that one time. So I'm going to click on this, I'm going to copy, and I'm going to paste 4 times. And at this point in time, we are going to move using the arrows to position them in the different pockets of the star. We will have to rotate them a little bit. That takes a little, just takes a little bit experimenting. And now that I have them about in position to where I want them to be posted, I am going to go to my top view. I'm going to keep my I want to keep my front, but I do want to go to my top view, and there we have it. So what we need to make sure that these brakes in our cylinder are pointing away from the star. So I'll start up here. When you click on it, you have this little rotation device, so you can choose your degrees. So I'm going to go negative 45, and that didn't work. See, it turned the wrong direction, so I'm going to undo rather than try to figure out, and I'm just going to make it 45 degrees. Could go a little bit further, so I will do it again, and I'll go another 45. And that's better. So now I'm going to click it, and I'm going to bring it in. I want to make sure it's touching the star, but not poking through into the inside. Okay, same thing here. This one I'm going to leave alone. It's facing out. I'm satisfied with that. And here's another little suggestion. Come down here where it says Snap Grid, and you're going to change that to 1/64. Now your movement won't be as much. You're only going to be, every time you tap it with your keyboard, it's only going to move 1/64 of an inch. If you really want to get a good view, you can go underneath. And you can see that it is connected. Same thing here. I'm going to leave it alone. Sometimes I do this and I group them one at a time. But I am going to do it all at once today because for the lack of time I am up against the clock here. So now this one we're going to need to rotate away because it's just not going to fit. So I'll try another 45. Sometimes if you don't type quick enough, now this one went the wrong direction. So I'm going to undo. I am going to go negative 45. Zoom in, you can use your mouse wheel to zoom in. I'm going to click on that again. I'm going to rotate it another negative 45. Okay, and now I can push it up into there using my keyboard, my arrows from my keyboard. Now, if I were to be pushing in, I would see an orange area here, but since I don't, I think that I'm okay. I can go underneath and see. I'm close, but I'm not pushing in. And I'm going to go back to, I always like to have my work plate in the front for me, so that way I have an idea where I'm at. So I'm just going to do this one 180 degrees, and now I can put that in there. I tell my students that if they're doing this and I'm going too fast, they can always pause the video do the piece, do the instruction that I'm telling them to do. I do have a tendency to move fast. Okay, and that's it. So we have to group the whole thing so it becomes one piece. So I'm just going to click and drag over the whole fidget spinner. I'm going to group. And there you are. You have a fidget spinner. Now all you need to go is go to the dollar store, pick up some of their marbles, the completely spherical marbles, not the little other glass things they sell, and then go to Amazon and buy some .87 bearings. Thank you so much for watching. Click on the like button.